Victoria stood frozen in the nursery doorway, 6 months pregnant, paint roller in hand, and her husband's voice drifting down the hall. "Tori, baby, I'll call you back. My wife just walked in." Her blood turned to ice. That wasn't his voice for her. That was his voice for someone else. 6 months of text messages, $50,000 spent monthly on jewelry and trips, while he told her to economize on baby furniture. But here's the twist Victoria's billionaire husband never saw coming. Her twin sister, Vanessa, the silent investor he'd worked with for 10 years, the one who owned 34% of his company, she's been watching, waiting, building a safety net for the day he'd betray her sister. And that day just arrived. This is the story of how a pregnant woman and her twin sister took down a billionaire who thought he could have it all. Stay with me, because what happens next will leave you speechless. "Tori, baby, I'll call you back. My wife just walked in." Victoria Ashford Bennett stood frozen in the nursery doorway. The paint roller slipped from her fingers. Sage green paint splattered across the hardwood floor. Her 6-month pregnant belly pressed against the doorframe as she tried to process what she had just heard. Down the hall, Preston's voice continued. Warm, intimate, the laugh she used to believe was reserved only for her. "I miss you too," he said. His office door was cracked open. "Just enough. Tonight at the usual place. Don't worry. She doesn't suspect anything." Tori's hand moved to her belly, protective, instinctive. The baby kicked against her palm as if sensing her mother's sudden panic. Her heart hammered in her chest. The nursery walls seemed to close in around her, sage green. She had been so excited about this color. Preston had told her it was perfect. She took 3 steps closer to his office. The hardwood floor creaked beneath her feet. She froze, held her breath. But Preston kept talking. "I can't wait to see you," he murmured. "What you're wearing. God, I've been thinking about you all day." The words hit her like physical blows. Each one landed somewhere deep in her chest. She wanted to burst through the door, scream, demand answers, but her body would not move. Her feet felt welded to the floor. Tori pulled her phone from her pocket. 3 times she pressed the button. Lock, unlock, lock. The screen showed her last text to Preston from 2 hours earlier. "Baby's kicking. Can you feel?" The message sat there, delivered, read, but no response. He had been too busy texting someone else. The office chair scraped against the floor. Footsteps approached. Tori stumbled backward. Too late. The door swung open. Preston emerged. His face cycled through emotions faster than she could track. Surprise, calculation, something that might have been guilt. Then defensiveness settled over his features like a mask. "How long have you been standing there?" His voice had gone cold, clinical. Nothing like the warmth she had just heard through the door. Tori's throat felt tight. Her hand moved again to her belly. The baby kicked frantically now, responding to her racing heartbeat. "Long enough," she managed. Preston's jaw tightened. He closed his office door behind him, blocking her view, protecting his space. "Tori, you're being paranoid. That was Elliot about the Singapore deal." She shook her head. "I know Elliot's voice. That wasn't him." "You misheard. I heard you say my wife just walked in." Silence stretched between them. The grandfather clock in the hallway ticked. Each second felt like an hour. Preston's eyes darted to his phone, then back to her face. "It's not what you think," he said finally. "Then what is it?" He took a step toward her. She took a step back. The movement was automatic, instinctive, like her body knew something her mind had not yet accepted. "You're stressed," Preston said. His tone had shifted again. Gentle now, concerned, the voice he used when he wanted something. "The pregnancy hormones. You're reading things into innocent conversations." Tori felt dizzy. The hallway tilted. Was she being paranoid? The doctors had warned her about mood swings, about anxiety, but this felt different. This felt real. "Who were you talking to?" she asked. "Elliot, I told you. You called them baby." Preston's face hardened. "I did not. You're hearing things that aren't there." The paint roller still lay on the floor, sage green spreading across the hardwood in a slow stain. Tori stared at it. 2 hours ago she had been happy, excited, painting their baby's nursery. imagining their future. Now everything felt wrong, tilted, like she had stepped into a different house, a different life. I need to lie down, she said. Preston reached for her arm. She pulled away. Tori, I just need to lie down. She walked down the hallway, past their bedroom, past the master suite with its king-size bed and expensive linens. She went to the guest room at the end of the hall, the room they never used. She stepped inside, closed the door, and locked it. Behind her, she heard Preston's footsteps. He stopped outside the door. Tori, please, let's talk about this rationally. She leaned against the door. Her whole body trembled. The baby kicked again, harder this time, as if trying to tell her something. Just give me some space, she called through the door. This is ridiculous. You're my wife. Open the door. I said I need space, more silence. Then his footsteps retreated down the hallway, heavy, angry. The front door opened, slammed shut. The house shook with the force of it. Through the window, she watched his Mercedes pull out of the driveway too fast, tires squealing against the asphalt. Tori slid down to the floor, her back against the locked door. Her phone trembled in her hands. She opened her contacts, scrolled to the V section. Her finger hovered over the name. Vanessa, her twin sister, her other half. The person who always knew when something was wrong even before Tori said a word. She pressed call. The phone rang once. Vanessa answered immediately. I knew you'd call today, Vanessa said. Her voice was steady, certain. I felt it. That was all it took. Tori broke. The sobs came from somewhere deep inside her chest. Violent, uncontrollable. She could not speak, could not breathe, could only cry into the phone while her sister listened. I'm 20 minutes away, Vanessa said. Do not let him in that room. Do you hear me? Lock that door and do not open it for anyone but me. Okay, Tori whispered. I'm getting in my car right now. Stay on the phone with me. Tori listened to the sounds of her sister moving, car door opening, engine starting, the familiar beep of the parking garage exit. Talk to me, Vanessa said. What happened? I heard him on the phone, Tori said. The words came out broken, choppy, between person, with someone, a woman. He called her baby. He said tonight at the usual place. He said I don't suspect anything. Vanessa swore, a long string of words Tori had not heard her sister use since they were teenagers. That bastard, Vanessa said finally, that absolute bastard. Maybe I'm wrong, Tori said. Maybe it's the hormones. Maybe, stop right now. You're not wrong. You're not crazy. Trust your instincts. Tori closed her eyes. The baby kicked again, softer this time, as if settling down, calming in response to Aunt Vanessa's voice on the phone. So, I'm 10 minutes away now, Vanessa said. Just breathe. Count to 10. Breathe. Tori counted 1, 2, 3. The numbers felt like anchors, something solid to hold on to while everything else fell apart. Outside the window, the sun was setting. Golden light poured through the guest room blinds, creating stripes across the carpet. This morning, everything had been normal. She had woken up next to Preston. He had kissed her belly, asked how the baby was doing. Seemed like a caring husband, a soon-to-be father. But something had been off. She realized that now. His smile had not reached his eyes. His kiss had been perfunctory, obligatory. When had that started? When had his touches become routine instead of loving? I'm in your driveway, Vanessa said. I'm coming in through the side door, the one with the spare key. Tori heard the distant sound of a door opening, closing, footsteps moving through the house, then a soft knock on the guest room door. It's me, Vanessa said. Let me in. Tori unlocked the door. Vanessa slipped inside, locked it again behind her, then pulled her twin sister into a fierce embrace. They were identical in almost every way. Same dark hair, same green eyes, same height. But Vanessa held herself differently, stronger, more certain. While Tori felt like she was crumbling, Vanessa was a pillar of steel. Tell me everything, Vanessa said. They sat on the guest room floor, backs against the bed, knees touching, the way they used to sit as children when they told each other secrets. Tori started from the beginning, the phone call, Preston's voice, the words that had shattered her world. Vanessa listened without interrupting. Her face grew harder with each detail. Where is he now? Vanessa asked. He left after I locked myself in here. He drove off somewhere. Probably to her, Vanessa said flatly. The words hung in the air between them. Tori wanted to argue, defend him, say it was not possible, but deep down, she knew Vanessa was right. How long do you think this has been going on? Tori whispered. Vanessa pulled out her phone, began typing rapidly. That's what we're going to find out. But first, I need you to think. Have there been signs? Things that seemed off, but you ignored? Tori closed her eyes, let her mind drift backward through the months. The memories came flooding back, each one now tainted with new context. 3 months ago, the company gala. Preston had suggested she skip it. You should rest, he had said. Take it easy. The baby needs you healthy. She had stayed home, watched movies in her pajamas, felt grateful for such a caring husband. But now she wondered, had he gone alone or had he taken someone else? 4 months ago, new cologne, expensive, a brand she did not recognize. Client gave it to me. Yeah, Preston had explained. Some French thing. You like it? She had nodded, kissed him. Never questioned it. 5 months ago, the night she told him about the pregnancy, they had been trying for a year. When the test finally came back positive, she had been ecstatic. She had planned an elaborate reveal, tiny baby shoes in a gift box. Preston had opened it, stared at the shoes, then smiled. But the smile had been wrong. It had not reached his eyes. There had been something in his expression. Something she had told herself was shock, joy, overwhelmed emotion. But what if it had been something else? Disappointment, fear, the beginning of his exit plan? 6 months ago, right after she told him she was pregnant, Preston had suggested she stop working. Just for the baby's health, he had said. We don't need the money. Focus on yourself and the baby. It had seemed loving, protective. Now she wondered if he had wanted her home, isolated, dependent, while he built a life without her. Tell me, Vanessa said gently. Tori opened her eyes, described each memory, each sign she had ignored or explained away. Vanessa's expression grew darker with each one. He's been planning this, Vanessa said. This isn't a sudden affair. This is calculated. You don't know that. Tori, listen to yourself. He isolated you, got you pregnant, then started pulling away. That's a pattern. Tori's hand moved to her belly. The baby was quiet now, resting, unaware of the chaos surrounding its existence. What do I do? Tori asked. First, we document everything. Then we talk to Bradley. Mom's lawyer friend? He's the best divorce attorney in the state, and he loves you like a daughter. He'll protect you. The word divorce felt like a punch to the gut. Was that where this was heading? Tori tried to imagine her life without Preston. Single mother, starting over. It felt impossible, terrifying. Vanessa seemed to read her thoughts. You don't have to decide anything right now, but we need to be prepared. If he's been planning this, he's been moving pieces around. Assets, money. We need to know what you're dealing with. A knock on the door made them both jump. Tori? Preston's voice. He was back. Please, let's talk about this rationally. Vanessa stood, moved to the door. Her voice came out cold, sharp. Preston, it's Vanessa. Back away from the door. Now. Silence. Vanessa? Preston sounded surprised. This is between me and my wife. Your pregnant wife you've been cheating on? That wife? More silence, then footsteps retreating. Vanessa listened at the door, waiting. The front door opened again. Closed. Not slammed this time, but firmly, with finality. Where is he going? Tori asked. Vanessa checked her phone. Probably back to her, but that's actually good. It gives us time to work. She sat back down, pulled out her laptop from her bag, started typing again. What are you doing? Tori asked. Calling in reinforcements. Grace will be here in 30 minutes. Your assistant? Grace is a digital forensics expert. If there's evidence of this affair, she'll find it. Tori felt like she was watching her life from outside her body. This morning she had been painting a nursery. Now her sister was bringing in forensic experts. How had everything changed so fast? But deep down, she knew. Nothing had changed fast. This had been building for months. She had just been too trusting, too naive, too willing to believe Preston's explanations. She thought about sitting in her car earlier that week, parked in their own driveway, unable to go inside. She had sat there for 20 minutes, just staring at the house, feeling wrong, feeling like something was off but unable to name it. Finally, she had forced herself to go inside, act normal, pretend everything was fine. How many times had she done that? Pushed down her instincts, told herself she was being paranoid, convinced herself that Preston loved her, that their marriage was solid, that the distance between them was just stress, just the pregnancy, just work. "I'm not crazy," Tori said suddenly. The words came out fierce, certain. "I know what I heard. I know what I've been feeling." Vanessa looked up from her laptop, smiled. It was a sad smile, proud but heartbroken. "You're not crazy," Vanessa confirmed. "You're finally seeing clearly." The doorbell rang. Rang. Vanessa checked her phone. "That's Grace. I'll let her in." She left the guest room. Tori heard voices downstairs, female voices, calm, professional. Then footsteps coming back up. Vanessa returned with a woman Tori had met a few times at family events. Grace Sullivan, 29, sharp eyes, sharper mind. Grace carried a laptop bag in a leather folder. She smiled at Tori, not with pity, but with determination. "Let's find out what your husband has been hiding," Grace said. Grace set up her laptop on the guest room desk. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. Vanessa sat beside her. Tori remained on the floor, back against the bed, watching them work. "I need you to understand something," Grace said without looking away from her screen. "Whatever we find, we document legally. This isn't about revenge. This is about protecting you and your baby." Tori nodded, even though Grace was not looking at her. "Does Preston have any accounts you share?" Grace asked. "Phone plan, credit cards, bank accounts?" "The phone plan," Tori said. "It's under my name, family plan." Grace's eyes lit up. "Perfect. Can you log into the account?" Tori pulled out her phone. Her hands shook as she typed in the password. She handed the phone to Grace. "This might take a few minutes," Grace said. "Vanessa, can you pull up his credit card statements?" "The ones Tori has access to?" Vanessa was already on it, her own laptop open, fingers flying. The twins worked in tandem, synchronized, efficient. Tori felt useless. She sat on the floor with her swollen belly, unable to help, unable to do anything but wait. 20 minutes passed. Grace's expression shifted, from focused to grim. "I found something," she said quietly. Tori stood, moved to the desk, looked at the screen. Text messages, hundreds of them, between Preston and someone saved in his phone as SM. Grace scrolled through them. The most recent was from 3 hours ago. "Preston, can't wait to see you tonight. The usual place." SM, "I miss you so much. I hate that she's there and I'm here." Preston, "Soon, baby. Soon we won't have to hide anymore." Tori felt her knees buckle. Vanessa caught her, guided her to the bed. Tori sat, stared at the screen, at the evidence of her husband's betrayal displayed in neat little text bubbles. "Keep scrolling," Vanessa said. Her voice was hard, cold. Grace scrolled. The messages went back months, 6 months. Tori did the math in her head. Her hand moved to her belly. "That's when I told him I was pregnant," she whispered. Grace stopped scrolling, found the date, read the messages aloud. The day after Tori announced her pregnancy, Preston had texted SM. "Everything's more complicated now, but I don't want to lose you." SM had replied, "I'll wait, however long it takes." Tori felt like she was drowning. Each message pulled her further under. She could not breathe, could not think. The baby kicked, hard, as if trying to bring her back to reality. "I need a minute," Tori said. She stood, walked to the bathroom attached to the guest room, closed the door, locked it. The bathroom was small, white tile, clawfoot tub. She looked at herself in the mirror. Red eyes, swollen face, pregnant belly pressing against her shirt. She looked like a stranger. Tori turned on the cold water, splashed her face, then did something she could not explain. She climbed into the empty bathtub, fully clothed, drew her knees up as much as her 6-month belly allowed. The porcelain was cool against her back, solid, real. She could hear muffled voices through the door, Vanessa and Grace talking, strategizing, working to save her life while she sat in an empty bathtub, unable to process what was happening. The baby kicked again, softer this time. Tori placed both hands on her belly. "It's just us now, sweetheart," she whispered. "But that's going to be enough. I promise, Chang." She did not know if she believed her own words, but she needed to say them, needed to hear them out loud. This baby deserved a mother who was strong, who fought, who did not crumble in bathtubs. Tori took a deep breath, counted to 10, then climbed out of the tub, dried her face, and went back to face the evidence of her husband's betrayal. When she opened the bathroom door, Vanessa and Grace had moved to the bed, papers spread across the comforter, bank statements, credit card bills, a timeline written in Grace's neat handwriting. $50,000, Vanessa said. Her voice shook with anger. Every month for the past 6 months, jewelry, an apartment rental, first-class flights, while he told you to economize on nursery furniture. Tori remembered that conversation 3 weeks ago. She had shown Preston a crib she loved. Solid wood, safe, $800. He had frowned. "That's excessive. Let's find something more reasonable. We need to be smart about money with the baby coming." She had felt guilty, selfish for wanting the nice crib. She had found a cheaper one. $300. Particle board, but acceptable. Meanwhile, Preston had been spending $50,000 a month on his mistress. Tori sat on the bed, picked up one of the credit card statements. Her eyes caught on a specific date. She knew that date. She would never forget it. "That's my baby shower," she said. Vanessa leaned over, looked at the charge. 2 first-class tickets to Bali. Charged 3 weeks ago, the day of Tori's baby shower. While Tori had sat in her mother's living room, opening onesies, accepting well wishes, eating cake, smiling for photos. Preston had told everyone he had an emergency at the Singapore construction site. He had kissed her forehead, said he was sorry to miss it, promised to make it up to her. He had been on a beach in Bali with his mistress. Tori's inner voice was loud now, clear, certain. "I sat there, ate cake, thanked everyone, pretended he was working, while he was with her." Grace's laptop pinged. She looked at the screen, then at Tori. "I found her," Grace said. "Sienna Marchand, 26 years old, model. And Tori, she's posted photos, with him, public Instagram." Vanessa swore again. "Show me." Grace turned the laptop, the screen filled with images. A beautiful young woman, long blonde hair, perfect body. Everything Tori was not right now. Everything Tori would never be again. And Preston. In the background of photos, sometimes just his hand, or his watch, or his reflection in a window. But there, present, with her, Singapore skyline, Preston's hand visible holding a champagne glass. Yacht. Blessed caption. Preston's watch visible in the corner. The same watch Tori had given him for their 5th anniversary. Restaurant. Best life caption. Preston's reflection in the window. Each photo triggered a memory. Each memory now corrupted, tainted, destroyed. Singapore photo. Tori had been home with morning sickness so severe she could not leave the bathroom. Preston had called once, asked how she was doing. She had said fine. Did not want to burden him. He had sounded relieved, grateful she was not complaining. He had hung up, gone back to his mistress. Yacht photo, the day of Tori's ultrasound appointment. She had gone alone, held the technician's hand instead of her husband's, watched their baby move on the screen, cried happy tears by herself, texted Preston the ultrasound pictures. He had replied with a thumbs up emoji. He had been on a yacht with another woman. Restaurant photo, their anniversary, 10th anniversary. Preston had forgotten. Tori had waited all day for him to remember. He never did. She had gone to bed crying. He had come home after midnight, drunk, smelling like perfume that was not hers. She had assumed it was from a client dinner, a colleague who hugged him goodbye. She had been an idiot. Tori stood, walked to the window, looked out at the neighborhood she had loved, the house she had chosen, the life she had built. All of it was a lie. Vanessa's phone rang. "Preston." She answered on speaker without asking Tori first. Where is Tori? Preston's voice filled the room. Safe from you, Vanessa replied. Vanessa, this is between me and my wife. Your pregnant wife you've been cheating on for 6 months? That wife. Silence. Long, heavy. Then, it's complicated. Vanessa's laugh was bitter. No, Preston, it's actually very simple. You're a cheating bastard, and we have proof. More silence. Tori could hear breathing, could picture Preston's face, the calculation happening behind his eyes. I want to talk to Tori, he said finally. Tori took the phone. Her hand was steady, her voice was clear. I deserved better than this, she said. Our baby deserves better than this. Tori, please, let me explain. Explain what? The 6 months of text messages? The $50,000 a month? The trips to Bali during my baby shower? Preston's breath caught. How did you— I'm not stupid, Tori said. Her voice was getting stronger. Louder. I was trusting. There's a difference. This isn't what you think. Then what is it? Can we talk in person? Just you and me? Tori looked at Vanessa, at Grace, at the papers spread across the bed, the evidence of systematic betrayal, of calculated deception, of a man who had planned his exit from the moment she told him she was pregnant. No, Tori said, we can't. The baby you haven't wanted since day one. The words came out sharp, cutting, true. Long pause. That's not true. Then why did you start sleeping with her the week I told you I was pregnant? Longer pause. She could hear him breathing, could picture his face, the mask slipping, the truth showing through. How did you know that? He asked quietly. I know everything, Preston, and so will everyone else soon. She hung up. Her whole body was shaking, but she had done it, faced him, told him the truth, did not let him gaslight her, did not let him make her doubt herself. Vanessa pulled her into a hug. Grace started packing up her laptop. Good, Vanessa said into Tori's hair. Now here's what we're going to do. Morning came too soon. Tori had slept at Vanessa's penthouse. If sleep was what you called lying awake all night, staring at the ceiling, the baby had been restless, kicking, moving, as if sensing its mother's distress. Now Tori sat at Vanessa's dining table. Coffee she could not drink sat in front of her. The smell made her nauseous. Everything made her nauseous. Grace had arrived at 7 in the morning. Efficient, professional, armed with more documents, more evidence, more proof that Tori's life had been a carefully constructed lie. Bradley's on his way, Vanessa said. She poured herself coffee, black, strong, the way she always took it. Bradley Carmichael? Tori asked. Mom's friend? Best divorce attorney in the state, Vanessa confirmed. And he's known you since you were born. He'll fight for you. The word divorce still felt wrong, foreign, like a word from another language. But Tori was starting to accept it, starting to understand that her marriage had been over the moment Preston texted his mistress for the first time. She just had not known it yet. The doorbell rang. Vanessa went to answer, came back with Bradley Carmichael, 55 years old, silver hair, kind eyes that had seen too much human ugliness to be surprised by Preston's betrayal. Victoria, he said. He always called her by her full name. I've known you since you were born. I watched you marry Preston, and I'm going to make sure you and that baby are protected. Tori nodded, could not speak. Tears threatened, but she held them back. She was tired of crying. Bradley sat, opened his briefcase, pulled out legal pads and pens. Grace handed him the evidence she had compiled. Bank statements, text messages, photos, a timeline of the affair. Bradley read through everything. His expression grew darker with each page. This is bad, he said finally, but it's also good for you. The prenup has an infidelity clause. If we can prove adultery, the prenup is void. You're entitled to half of everything. There's a prenup? Tori asked. Everyone looked at her. You signed it before the wedding, Bradley said gently. Do you not remember? Tori tried to think back. The week before the wedding, so much chaos, so much paperwork. Preston's lawyers, mountains of documents. She had signed everything Preston put in front of her. Trusted him. Loved him. What does it say? she asked. Bradley hesitated, looked at Vanessa, back to Tori. If you divorce without cause, you get $1 million. No more. Preston keeps everything else. $1 million. It sounded like a lot. But Preston was worth hundreds of millions, maybe billions. The company, the properties, the investments. 1 million was nothing. But the infidelity clause voids all of that, Bradley continued. If we prove he cheated, you get what the law says you deserve, half of all marital assets. How do we prove it? Tori asked. Grace pushed her laptop across the table. We already have text messages, financial records, photos. It's airtight. Bradley nodded. The question is, what Preston's going to do about it? Men like him don't go down quietly. As if on cue, Tori's phone buzzed. A text from Preston. She showed it to the table. We need to talk. I'm filing papers tomorrow. Tori's hand slammed the table. The forced surprise at everyone, including herself. The baby kicked in response to her sudden movement. He planned this, Tori said. Her voice was steel. He got me pregnant and immediately started planning his exit. Bradley's expression was grim. Not quite. The asset movement started 6 weeks ago. We pulled corporate records. He's been restructuring. What does that mean? Tori asked. Grace pulled up spreadsheets on her laptop. He's moving assets, making it look like he owns less than he does, putting properties in trusts, shifting investments to offshore accounts. All technically legal, but suspicious as hell. He's going to claim most of his wealth is tied up in business assets he can't liquidate, Bradley explained. It's a common tactic. Make yourself look cash poor on paper. Tori felt sick. Not pregnancy sick, soul sick. She remembered Preston asking her to sign paperwork 3 weeks ago. Routine, he had said. Trust documents, estate planning. The lawyers need signatures. She had signed without reading, trusting her husband. Her hand moved to her belly. What did I sign? She whispered. Bradley's face darkened. Let me see the documents. Grace had already pulled them up. Corporate filings, trust agreements. Tori's signature on the bottom of each page. She had signed away rights to Preston's future business ventures, given up claims to certain properties, agreed to terms she had not understood. This won't hold up, Bradley said firmly. You were 6 months pregnant. He didn't disclose what it was. You didn't have independent counsel. Any judge will see this for what it is. Coercion. But Tori barely heard him. She was remembering the moment she signed. Preston had brought the documents to her while she was in bed. 8 in the morning. She had still been half asleep. He had kissed her forehead. Just routine paperwork, baby. Sign here and here. She had signed. He had taken the documents, left for work. She had gone back to sleep. How stupid she had been. How naive. How completely and utterly foolish. Vanessa reached across the table, took Tori's hand. Stop. I can see what you're thinking. This is not your fault. I signed. You trusted your husband. That's not a character flaw. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But I should have. No, Vanessa cut her off. He should have. He should have been honest. He should have been faithful. He should have been a decent human being. You did nothing wrong. Tori squeezed her sister's hand, drew strength from it, from the twin connection that had sustained them their whole lives. Bradley was still reading through documents. His expression shifted, from grim to something else. Surprise, maybe even shock. There's something here, he said, something interesting. Everyone leaned in. Preston's company, Bennett Development Corporation. The ownership structure is complex, multiple investors, but there's one investor with a significant stake. He looked up. 34%, single largest shareholder. Who? Grace asked. Bradley read from the document. V. Ashford Capital. The room went silent. Vanessa stood, walked to the window overlooking the city, her back to the table. Vanessa? Tori said. What is V. Ashford Capital? Vanessa turned. Her face was calm, resolved, like she had been waiting for this moment, preparing for it. It's me, she said. I own 34% of Preston's company. The silence in the room was absolute. Tori stared at her sister, at her twin. The person she thought she knew better than anyone in the world. What? Tori finally managed. Vanessa returned to the table, sat, looked at Tori with steady eyes. Do you remember 10 years ago, Vanessa asked, when I started my investment fund? Tori nodded. She remembered. Vanessa had been 22, just out of business school. She had started with money their grandmother left them, built it into something impressive, something powerful. My first major investment was Preston's real estate company, Vanessa continued. Back when you two were just dating. He needed capital to expand. I had capital to invest. But why didn't you tell me? Tori asked. Because I wanted to protect you. If you knew your sister was bankrolling Preston's company, every fight you had would be complicated. Every disagreement would have my shadow over it. I wanted your marriage to be yours. But you've been his partner for 10 years? Not partner, Vanessa corrected. Investor. Silent investor. Preston knows me only as V. Ashford Capital, a venture capital firm. He has no idea it's me. Bradley sat back in his chair. A slow smile spread across his face. This changes everything. How? Tori asked. 34% gives Vanessa significant power, Bradley explained. She has voting rights, board representation, the ability to call meetings, the ability to challenge decisions. Grace was already typing, pulling up corporate documents. The company bylaws, let me check. She read for a minute, then looked up, smiled. Any shareholder with more than 25% can call for a vote of no confidence in leadership. Vanessa's smile was cold, sharp. And Preston has been making decisions without proper board approval, moving company assets, mixing personal and corporate expenses. If I wanted to, I could make his life very difficult. Tori tried to process this. Her twin sister, her other half, had been protecting her all along, building a safety net Tori had not even known existed. Why now? Tori asked. Why reveal this now? Because now you need it, Vanessa said simply. I've been watching Preston for 10 years, watching how he treats you, how he treats the business, how he treats everyone around him. And I've been waiting. If he ever hurt you, I would be ready. Tori felt tears coming, but not tears of sadness, tears of gratitude, of love, of understanding that she was not alone, had never been alone. What do we do? Tori asked. Vanessa turned to Bradley. What are our options? Bradley leaned forward, professional now, strategic. Preston's planning to file for divorce. He thinks he has the upper hand. Prenup, assets hidden. Tori pregnant and vulnerable. But he doesn't know what we know. Which is, Grace asked, that we can prove adultery, void the prenup, and that his largest shareholder is about to turn on him. What does that look like? Vanessa asked. Bradley pulled out a legal bead, started writing. First we file, before he does. We control the narrative, adultery, financial misconduct, request for full asset disclosure. He'll fight it, Grace said. Let him, Bradley replied. While he's fighting the divorce, Vanessa calls a board meeting, questions his leadership, his decision-making, his mixing of personal and corporate funds. Vanessa nodded. I can do that. I've been documenting questionable decisions for years, just in case. His reputation takes a hit, Bradley continued. His business suffers. His standing in the community drops. And suddenly, fighting Tori in divorce court looks less appealing. Better to settle. Give her what she deserves, move on quietly. It was a good plan, a smart plan, but Tori felt uncomfortable with it. She was not a game player, not a strategist. She was just a woman whose husband had betrayed her. As if reading her thoughts, Vanessa took her hand again. I know this feels wrong, manipulative, but Preston started this. He's been manipulating you for months, moving pieces around, setting up his escape. We're just playing the game he started. What if it doesn't work? Tori asked. Then we go to court, Bradley said, and we win. We have evidence, we have leverage, we have right on our side. Preston has lies and a good lawyer. But lies don't hold up under oath. Tori's phone buzzed again. Another text from Preston. I know you're with Vanessa. Tell her to stay out of this. This is between us. Tori showed the text to the table. Vanessa laughed. Actually laughed. He has no idea what's coming, Vanessa said. Bradley checked his watch. I need to get back to the office, start drafting paperwork. Tori, I'll need you to come in tomorrow, sign some documents, give a deposition about the affair. Tori nodded. Okay. After Bradley left, Grace packed up her laptop. I'll keep monitoring his accounts. See if he makes any more suspicious moves. When Grace was gone, Tori and Vanessa sat alone in the penthouse. The city spread out below them through floor-to-ceiling windows. So much life happening down there. So many people with their own problems, their own betrayals, their own heartbreaks. What if I can't do this? Tori whispered. What if I'm not strong enough? Vanessa pulled her close, twin to twin, heart to heart. You carried a baby while the man you loved betrayed you, Vanessa said. You suspected something was wrong, and you trusted your instincts. You called me. You're already stronger than you think. I'm terrified, Tori admitted. Me too, Vanessa said. But we're Ashford twins. We do scared better than anyone. Tori laughed. It was a small laugh, watery, but genuine. The first real laugh since she overheard Preston's phone call yesterday. Was it only yesterday? It felt like years ago. Her phone buzzed. Preston again. We need to talk, face to face. Please, Tori, give me a chance to explain. Tori looked at the message, at the man she had loved, had married, had built a life with, the father of her unborn child, and she felt nothing. No anger, no love, no pain, just emptiness. That scared her more than anything. She showed Vanessa the text. Should I meet with him? Do you want to? Tori thought about it, really thought. I don't know. Then wait, Vanessa advised. Wait until you're ready, until you know what you want to say. Don't let him set the timeline. Tori nodded, put her phone down, placed both hands on her belly. The baby kicked, strong, healthy, oblivious to the chaos surrounding its entrance into the world. I need to lie down, Tori said. Vanessa showed her to the guest room. It was beautiful, decorated in soft grays and whites, peaceful. Tori crawled into bed fully clothed. Vanessa pulled a blanket over her. Sleep, Vanessa said. I'll be right outside if you need me. But Tori could not sleep. Her mind raced. She thought about her life, her choices, the path that had led her here. She had met Preston at a gallery opening. She was 24. Fresh out of architecture school, he was 34. Successful, charming, interested in her ideas, her designs, her dreams. They had married 2 years later. A beautiful wedding, 300 guests, champagne and dancing, and a future that seemed limitless. Where had it gone wrong? Had it ever been right? Or had she been in love with an illusion, a version of Preston that only existed in her imagination? Her inner voice spoke, clear, certain. The hardest part is admitting I knew something was wrong for months. I just didn't want to believe it. Because believing it meant her life was a lie. Her marriage was a failure. Her judgment was flawed, and that was harder to accept than living in denial. But denial was no longer an option. Tori's phone buzzed. One more text. I'm filing tomorrow, with or without you. This is happening. She stared at the message, at the threat, at Preston's attempt to control the situation, control her, and something inside her shifted, hardened, transformed. He wanted a war. He would get one. She texted back, just 3 words. See you in court. Then she turned off her phone, rolled over, and finally slept. The next morning, Tori woke to voices in the living room. She checked the time. 9 in the morning. She had slept for 14 hours. The baby had needed it. She had needed it. She got up, splashed water on her face, ran fingers through her tangled hair, then walked out to find Vanessa, Grace, and Bradley gathered around the dining table. Again, still, always. Good morning, and Bradley said. He looked energized, ready for battle. We have news. Tori poured herself water, sat. What kind of news? Preston filed for divorce at 8 this morning, Bradley said, citing irreconcilable differences, requesting the prenup be enforced, asking for joint custody, but primary residence with him. Tori's hand tightened around her water glass. He wants custody? He's posturing, Bradley assured her. No judge will give primary custody to a man who's been having an affair. He's trying to scare you, make you more willing to negotiate. Well, it's working, Tori admitted. Don't let it, Vanessa said. We filed our own papers an hour ago. Adultery, financial misconduct, requesting full asset disclosure and sole custody pending further investigation. How did you file our papers before I signed anything? Tori asked. You signed them yesterday, Bradley said, before you went to sleep. Don't you remember? Tori tried to think back. Yesterday was a blur. Had she signed papers? She must have, but she could not remember. Grace pushed her laptop across the table. Preston's lawyer released this statement an hour ago. Tori read the screen. A press release. Cold. Professional. Devastating. Preston Bennett, CEO of Bennett Development Corporation, regrets to announce the dissolution of his marriage to Victoria Bennett. Mr. Bennett wishes his soon-to-be ex-wife well and looks forward to co-parenting their child in a healthy and supportive environment. This is a private family matter, and Mr. Bennett requests privacy during this difficult time. Tori read it 3 times. The words seemed fine on the surface. Reasonable, respectful, but there was something underneath. Something subtle. The way it positioned Preston as the reasonable party. The way it made Tori sound like the problem without actually saying so. He's getting ahead of the story, Grace said, controlling the narrative before word of the affair gets out. Then we need to change the narrative, Vanessa said. She turned to Bradley. What if we go public with the affair? With the evidence? Bradley shook his head. Bad idea. Makes Tori look vindictive. Like she's out for revenge. Better to let the legal process play out. The truth will come out in discovery. Unless Preston settles first, Grace pointed out. If he offers enough money, he might convince Tori to sign an NDA. Bury the whole thing. Everyone looked at Tori. Would you take a settlement? Vanessa asked. If he offered you enough money and agreed to shared custody? Tori thought about it. Really thought. Money would make everything easier. She could buy a house, set up a trust for the baby, never have to worry about finances, never have to fight in court. Never have to see Preston's face again except at custody exchanges. It was tempting, but something inside her rebelled against it. Taking his money felt like accepting blame, like agreeing that this was her fault somehow, like letting him buy his way out of consequences. No, Tori said. I want the truth to come out. Vanessa smiled, proud. Good. Then here's what we do next. She pulled out her own laptop, opened a document. I've been compiling evidence of Preston's misuse of company funds for years. Small things at first, using the corporate card for personal expenses, charging personal trips as business travel. Nothing illegal, just unethical. But it's gotten worse recently, Grace added. She pulled up spreadsheets. 6 months ago, he started moving bigger money around, using company accounts to fund his affair. That crosses a line from unethical to potentially illegal. Bradley leaned in to look, his eyes widened. This is embezzlement. Technically, Vanessa said. I said, if we wanted to press it. Do we want to press it? Grace asked. Not yet, Vanessa decided. But we want Preston to know we could. I'm calling an emergency board meeting for tomorrow. As largest shareholder, I have that right. What will you do at the meeting? Tori asked. Question his leadership, his decision-making, his mixing of personal and corporate funds. Put him on notice that his behavior is being watched, being documented. He'll know it's you, Tori said, once you show up to this meeting as V. Ashford Capital. I know, Vanessa said. I'm ready for that. Tori felt a surge of emotion, gratitude, love, fear. What if he comes after you, tries to force you out? He can't, Grace said. We checked the bylaws. Vanessa's shares are protected. He'd need approval from 75% of shareholders to force her out, and he doesn't have that. What he has, Vanessa said with a cold smile, is 30% ownership. I have 34%. Together with other minority shareholders who are tired of his ego and his mistakes, I can outvote him on anything. Bradley was still reading through the documents. This is brilliant. You've been setting this up for years. Insurance, Vanessa said. I always knew Preston might hurt Tori eventually. I just hoped I was wrong. Tori felt tears coming again, but she held them back. She was tired of crying, tired of feeling weak, tired of being the victim. What do you need me to do? She asked. Nothing yet, Vanessa said. Tomorrow, I go to the board meeting. You stay here, rest. Take care of yourself and the baby. Let me handle Preston. But Tori shook her head. No, I want to be there. Tori, I need to see this. I need to watch him realize what's happening. I need to stop hiding. Vanessa looked at Bradley. Bradley looked at Grace. They all looked at Tori. Finally, Vanessa nodded. Okay, but you don't speak. You're just there as my guest, as my proxy. Let me do the talking. Deal, Tori agreed. Her phone buzzed. It was back on. She had turned it on to check messages from her mother. But now Preston's texts flooded in, 10 of them, all variations on the same theme. We need to talk. Please, Tori, let me explain. This doesn't have to be ugly. Think of the baby. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Can we meet? Just talk? Tori, please. I love you. I never wanted to hurt you. Please talk to me. Tori read each one, felt nothing. The words were empty, meaningless. Too late. She typed a response. See you at the board meeting tomorrow. She sent it, then blocked his number. Vanessa raised an eyebrow. Board meeting? How did you know about that? Tori smiled. Small, sad, but genuine. You're my twin. I know you. I knew you'd have a plan, and I knew it would involve your company shares eventually. I should have told you years ago, Vanessa said. Maybe, Tori agreed, but I understand why you didn't. You were protecting me. You've always protected me. That's what sisters do. They hugged, long, tight, twin to twin, heartbeat to heartbeat. When they pulled apart, Grace was typing rapidly. Preston just texted back. He's confused, asking what board meeting. Vanessa laughed. Let him wonder. He'll find out tomorrow. Bradley started packing his briefcase. I need to get back to the office. Prep for tomorrow. This is going to be interesting. After everyone left, Tori and Vanessa sat on the balcony. The city hummed below them. Traffic, people, life continuing as if nothing had changed, as if Tori's world had not completely imploded. Are you ready for this? Vanessa asked. No, Tori admitted, but I don't think I'll ever feel ready, so I might as well do it scared. That's my girl, Vanessa said. They sat in comfortable silence. Then Tori asked the question that had been haunting her. Did you ever like him? Preston? Vanessa was quiet for a long moment. At first, yes. He was charming, ambitious. He treated you well in the beginning. But over the years, I saw things, small things. The way he dismissed your ideas. The way he made decisions without consulting you. The way he slowly isolated you from your work, your friends, your independence. Why didn't you say anything? Would you have listened? Tori thought about it honestly. Probably not. I would have thought you were jealous, or overprotective, or being a typical twin. Exactly, Vanessa said. You had to see it yourself. I just made sure I'd be ready when you did. The baby kicked, hard, as if approving of Aunt Vanessa's strategy. What if this destroys the company? Tori asked. What if going after Preston ruins everything you built? Then I build something new, Vanessa said simply. Money comes and goes, but you're my twin, my sister, my family. There's no amount of money worth more than that. Tori squeezed her sister's hand. Thank you. For what? For believing me, for being ready, for loving me enough to plan for the worst. Always, Vanessa promised. Always. The next morning arrived with crystal clarity. No clouds, no rain, just bright California sunshine that felt almost mocking. Tori dressed carefully, a navy dress that accommodated her 6-month belly, low heels that were comfortable but professional, minimal makeup. She wanted to look composed, strong, not broken. Vanessa wore a power suit, black, tailored. She looked like exactly what she was, a venture capitalist about to dismantle a man's empire. They drove to Preston's office building in Vanessa's Mercedes. Grace met them in the parking garage. She carried 2 briefcases full of documents. Ready? Grace asked. No, Tori admitted, but let's do it anyway. The elevator ride to the 40th floor felt eternal. Tori watched the numbers climb, watched her reflection in the polished doors, watched herself transform from victim to warrior. The doors opened. Preston's secretary sat at her desk. She saw them and her face went pale. Ms. Ashford, Mrs. Bennett, I'm sorry, but Mr. Bennett is in an important meeting. Then he can make it more important, Vanessa said. She walked past the secretary without breaking stride. Tori followed, hard hammering, palms sweating, baby kicking in response to her anxiety. Vanessa opened Preston's office door without knocking. Preston sat behind his massive mahogany desk, and next to him, perched on the edge of that desk, was Sienna, the woman from the Instagram photos. Blonde, beautiful, young, real. The moment froze. Preston's face cycled through emotions: shock, fear, calculation, anger. Sienna looked confused, glanced between Vanessa and Tori, then her eyes landed on Tori's pregnant belly. Understanding dawned. Horror. Tori, Preston stood. This isn't what it looks like? Tori felt laughter bubble up, hysterical, inappropriate. She swallowed it down. Looks like? She said. Her voice was calm, too calm. Seems like? This is exactly what it is. She turned to Sienna, really looked at her. She was younger than Tori had thought. Vulnerable, scared. How far along are you? Tori asked. The question hung in the air. Sienna's hand moved unconsciously to her flat stomach. That gesture. Every woman knows that gesture. Preston moved between them. Tori, don't. How far along? Tori repeated, stronger now, demanding. Sienna's voice was barely a whisper. 10 weeks. The room spun. Tori grabbed the back of a chair, steadied herself. Preston was going to be a father twice. 2 babies, 2 women. Both of them betrayed. Vanessa stepped forward. All business now. Preston, we need to talk about the board meeting in 30 minutes. Preston's attention snapped to Vanessa. What board meeting? I didn't call a board meeting. I did, Vanessa said. As largest shareholder, it's my right. Largest shareholder? What are you talking about? Vanessa pulled documents from Grace's briefcase, slid them across the mahogany desk. Corporate ownership records, stock certificates, proof. Preston picked up the papers. Read. His face drained of all color. V. Ashford Capital, he read aloud. That's you? Hello, partner, Vanessa said. Her smile was ice. Preston looked at Tori, at Vanessa, back at the documents. You've been my silent investor for 10 years? Investor, Vanessa corrected, not partner. I invested in your company to protect my sister, and now I'm using that investment to hold you accountable. For what? Preston's voice rose, defensive, angry. I haven't done anything wrong. Adultery, Grace said. She stepped forward with her own briefcase. Misuse of corporate funds, mixing personal and business expenses. Should I go on? Preston's eyes cut to his mistress. Sienna had gone even paler. She slid off the desk, moved toward the door. Sienna, wait, Preston said. But Sienna was already leaving. Her coffee cup tipped as she moved, spilled across the mahogany desk, dark stains spreading. She did not stop to clean it, just fled. The door closed behind her. Silence filled the office. Preston sat heavily in his chair. What do you want? Full financial disclosure, Vanessa said. Assets returned to proper accounts, and you're going to set up a trust fund for Tori's baby. $10 million, untouchable by either of you. And if I don't, then I call for a vote of no confidence. You're removed as CEO. The board investigates your financial dealings. Everything becomes public. Your reputation, your business, your future, all of it, gone. Preston looked at Bradley, who had entered the office silently during the confrontation. This is blackmail. This is consequence, Bradley corrected. You betrayed your wife, misused company funds. Put your personal interests above your fiduciary duty to shareholders. So, Ashford is being generous by offering you an out. What kind of out? Preston asked. Do what we ask, Vanessa said. Quietly, quickly. We don't push for your removal. We don't make this public. You settle the divorce fairly. You share custody. You move on with your life. And if the board asks questions, Preston asked, you tell them you're restructuring for personal reasons, Vanessa said. That you're going through a divorce and want to ensure clean separation between personal and corporate finances. No one needs to know about the affair, about the embezzlement, about any of it. Preston's hands shook as he poured himself whiskey from the crystal decanter on his desk. 10 in the morning, and he was drinking. Tori had never seen him drink during business hours. "I made a mistake," he said finally. "One mistake, and you're destroying my life over it." Tori laughed, actually laughed. "One mistake? 6 months of lies. 6 months of cheating. $50,000 a month on your mistress. Moving our assets offshore. Getting her pregnant while I'm pregnant. That's not one mistake, Preston. Those are hundreds of deliberate choices." Preston looked at her, really looked. "Tori, I'm sorry. I was confused. Overwhelmed. The pregnancy scared me." "So you started an affair the week I told you?" "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like?" Preston had no answer. He drank his whiskey, poured another. Vanessa checked her watch. "Board meeting starts in 15 minutes. You need to decide. Do this our way or we do it the hard way." "I need time to think," Preston said. "You have 15 minutes, Vanessa replied. "We'll be in the boardroom." She turned it in. Tori followed, Bradley and Grace behind them. They left Preston in his office with the spilled coffee and the whiskey and the ruins of his carefully constructed lies. In the hallway, Tori's legs nearly gave out. Vanessa caught her, steadied her. "You did so good," Vanessa whispered. "So strong." "I don't feel strong," Tori admitted. "I feel like I'm going to throw up." "Bathroom?" Grace suggested. Tori nodded. They found the executive bathroom. Tori leaned over the sink, splashed cold water on her face, looked at herself in the mirror. Her face was flushed. Her eyes were bright. She looked alive, awake, present. For the first time in months, she looked like herself. "I wasn't wrong," she said to her reflection. "I'm not crazy. I was right all along." Behind her, Vanessa smiled. "You were always right." They went to the boardroom. 12 people already assembled, Preston's business partners, minority shareholders, the board of directors. Elliot Foster stood when they entered, Preston's oldest friend, his business partner. "Vanessa, what's going on?" Preston said there's an emergency meeting. "There is," Vanessa confirmed. She took her seat at the head of the table, the seat reserved for the largest shareholder. Preston's seat. Preston entered the room moments later. His face was composed now, mask back in place. But Tori could see the cracks, the fear underneath. He sat at the opposite end of the table, as far from Vanessa as possible. "Let's begin," Vanessa said. The boardroom felt like a courtroom. Mahogany table, leather chairs, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. 12 pairs of eyes watching, waiting, sensing blood in the water. Vanessa stood, projected an image onto the screen. Financial statements, corporate expenses, personal charges mixed with business ones. "I've called this meeting to address concerns about leadership," she began. "Specifically, Preston Bennett's decision-making over the past 6 months." Preston leaned back in his chair, attempting casual, unconcerned. "This is highly unusual, Vanessa. I mean, V. Ashford Capital. I didn't realize you were the person behind that fund." "There's a lot you don't realize," Vanessa replied. She clicked to the next slide. Company credit card charges. 6 months of data. Notice anything unusual? Elliot Foster leaned forward, studied the screen. His face shifted. Recognition. Understanding. "These aren't business expenses," he said quietly. "No," Vanessa agreed. "They're not. Jewelry, apartment rent, personal travel, all charged to corporate accounts." Preston's face hardened. Those were business gifts. Client relations. To one client, Vanessa clicked again. More data. Every charge traced to one location, one person. She did not say Sienna's name. Did not need to. The numbers told the story. "This is a witch hunt," Preston said. He stood, called by my wife's sister, clearly biased, clearly vengeful. "Sit down," came a voice from the doorway. Everyone turned. Ruth Bennett entered. Preston's mother, 70 years old, society matriarch, dressed in Chanel, carrying a Louis Vuitton bag, power personified. She walked past her son, did not look at him, sat next to Tori. "Ruth," Preston's voice broke. "What are you doing here?" I'm a shareholder, Ruth said calmly. 5%. Minority, but still. I have a right to attend board meetings. You never attend board meetings? I'm attending this one. Ruth turned to Vanessa. Continue, please. Vanessa smiled, slight, knowing she had planned this, coordinated with Ruth. Tori realized this was orchestrated. Beyond the financial misconduct, Vanessa continued, there's the matter of reputation. Mr. Bennett filed for divorce yesterday from his pregnant wife. The news will break soon. Rumors are already spreading. How will this affect investor confidence, client relationships, company culture? Elliot spoke up. Is this true, Preston? You're divorcing Tori while she's pregnant? Preston's eyes cut to Tori. She held his gaze, steady, unflinching. It's complicated, Preston said. It's not, Tori heard herself say. Everyone turned to look at her. She had not planned to speak, but the words came anyway. He's been having an affair for 6 months with a woman he got pregnant. While I'm pregnant, that's not complicated, that's betrayal. Silence. Absolute, suffocating. Ruth reached over, took Tori's hand, squeezed. One of the board members cleared his throat. Is there evidence of this affair? Grace stood, distributed folders, one to each board member. Text messages, financial records, photos, all documented, all verified. The board members read, faces shifted, disgust, disappointment, anger. Preston stood. This is a personal matter. It has nothing to do with the company. It does when you use company funds, Vanessa said. It does when you lie to shareholders, and it does when your personal choices affect our business. I'll pay back every cent, Preston said. Desperate now. It was a mistake. I'll fix it. Too late, Vanessa said. She looked around the table. I'm calling for a vote of no confidence in Preston Bennett as CEO. Grounds include misuse of company funds, failure to disclose personal liabilities affecting business, and reputation damage. You can't do this, Preston said. She can, Bradley confirmed. He stood, introduced himself formally. I'm representing the interests of several minority shareholders who are concerned about Mr. Bennett's leadership. They've given me proxy votes. Combined with Miss Ashford's 34%, we have sufficient votes to remove Mr. Bennett from his position. Preston looked around the table, searching for allies, finding none. Elliot, he pleaded, you're my partner, my friend. Elliot would not meet his eyes. I'm abstaining. Abstaining? I can't support removing you, Elliot said quietly, but I can't support keeping you either. I'm abstaining. Preston turned to the other board members. One by one they voted, in favor of removal. In favor, in favor, in favor. And Ruth Bennett's turn. She looked at her son. Tori saw tears in the older woman's eyes, but her voice was steady, in favor of removal. Preston stared at his mushroom. You're voting against me? I taught you better than this, Preston. Your father would be ashamed. The final votes came quickly. 8 in favor, 1 abstention, 3 opposed. The motion passed. Preston was no longer CEO. Elliot was named interim CEO, pending a search for permanent replacement. Preston was given 30 days to clear out his office. His corporate credit cards were canceled immediately. His access to company accounts suspended pending full audit. Preston sat in his chair, silent, broken. The mask finally shattered. Vanessa gathered her papers. That concludes this meeting. Thank you all for your time. People filed out, quietly, uncomfortably. Ruth stopped next to Preston's chair. Come see me when you're ready to talk, she said. I'm still your mother, but I'm disappointed. So deeply disappointed. She left. Preston and Tori were alone in the boardroom. Vanessa and Bradley waited by the door. Preston looked up, met Tori's eyes. This is what you wanted? To destroy me? I wanted you to be faithful, Tori said. I wanted you to be honest. I wanted you to be the man I thought I married. You destroyed yourself, Preston. I just stopped pretending it wasn't happening. I loved you, he said. No, Tori replied. You loved the idea of me, the perfect wife, the mother of your children, the woman who made you look good. But you never loved me. Not really. Because if you loved me, you couldn't have done this. She walked to the door, stopped, turned back. I'm keeping the house, she said. The one I picked out, the one I decorated, the one where I painted our baby's nursery. You can have everything else, but I'm keeping my home. Preston nodded, could not speak. Tori left, Vanessa and Bradley following. In the elevator, Tori started shaking, the adrenaline wearing off, the reality setting in. I can't believe we did that, she whispered. You were perfect, Vanessa said. So strong, so clear. I don't feel strong. That's what strength looks like, Vanessa replied. Doing the hard thing even when you're terrified. In the parking garage, Tori stopped, leaned against a concrete pillar. The baby kicked, hard, insistent. I need a minute, she said. Vanessa and Bradley gave her space, stood by the car, let her breathe. Tori placed both hands on her belly, felt the baby moving. This child had been through so much already. Drama, stress, chaos, and it was not even born yet. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry you're coming into this mess, but I promise I'll make it better. I'll give you a good life, a stable life, a life full of love. Even if it's just you and me, we'll be okay. The baby kicked again, softer, as if accepting the promise. Tori straightened, walked to the car, climbed in. Take me home, she said, to my house. I want to finish painting the nursery. Vanessa smiled. Let's go. 3 weeks passed, 3 weeks of lawyers and depositions and paperwork, 3 weeks of Preston trying to negotiate, 3 weeks of Tori standing firm. She had moved back into the house, their house, her house now. Preston had moved out, taken his clothes, his electronics, his ego, left everything else. The house felt different without him. Lighter, cleaner, more hers. Diana Reed came over to help with the nursery, brought paint samples, baby blankets, her steady presence. You know I never liked him, Diana said as they rolled sage green paint onto the walls. Tori laughed. Liar, you were his biggest fan. I was a good actress, Diana admitted, but seriously, I always thought he was too controlling, too perfect, like he was playing a role. He was, Tori said. We all were. Playing house, playing happy family, until he decided to write a different script. They painted in comfortable silence. The physical work felt good, therapeutic, creating something beautiful for her baby, for their future. The doorbell rang. Tori wiped paint from her hands, went to answer. Sienna stood on the porch, 7 months pregnant now, showing, vulnerable, scared. I'm sorry to bother you, Sienna said. I know I'm the last person you want to see. Tori almost closed the door. Almost. But something stopped her. Curiosity, maybe, or recognition. They were both Preston's victims, in different ways. What do you want? Tori asked. I came to apologize, Sienna said, and to warn you. Tori stepped aside, let her in, led her to the living room. Diana emerged from the nursery, saw Sienna. Her face hardened. Should I stay? Diana asked. Yes, Tori said. Please. They sat, 3 pregnant women, 3 different stories, all connected by one man's selfishness. He's already found someone new, Sienna said. She pulled out her phone. Showed Tori Instagram, Preston with another young woman. Different from Sienna, but similar. Blonde, beautiful, 20-something. The photo was from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks after Preston lost his company. 2 weeks into the divorce proceedings. He had already moved on. Tori looked at the photo, waited for the pain, the jealousy, the rage, felt nothing, just emptiness and relief. That was fast, Diana said dryly. I was you, Sienna said to Tori. 2 years ago, I met him at a fashion show. He told me his marriage was dead, that he was staying for appearances but planning to leave, that once his wife was settled, he'd be free. And you believed him, Tori said. Not a question. I wanted to believe him, Sienna corrected. He made me feel special, chosen, like I was the exception to every rule, but I was just another pattern. We all were, Tori agreed. When I got pregnant, Sienna continued, I thought it would change things. that he'd leave you for me, for our baby. But he just got angry, distant, started talking about ending things. That's when I went to the press. I know it was wrong, but I was scared. Alone, I didn't know what else to do. Tori studied her, really looked. She was so young, just 26, barely older than Tori had been when she met Preston. What will you do, Tori asked. With the baby? Raise her alone, Sienna said. Like you're going to do. I don't expect anything from Preston. The lawyer says I can get child support, but honestly, I'd rather have nothing. Rather have no connection to him at all. I understand that, Tori said. They sat in silence. Then Sienna spoke again. Your sister reached out to me, Vanessa. She offered me a job, marketing coordinator at her investment fund. She said there's a childcare program for single mothers. Health insurance. Support. Tori felt warmth spread through her chest. Vanessa. Always protecting, always helping. Even the woman who had hurt her sister. Will you take it? Tori asked. I don't know, Sienna admitted. Why would she help me? After what I did to you? Because you didn't do anything to me, Tori said. Preston did. You were lied to, just like I was. And Vanessa sees that. She's helping you because you're a woman alone with a baby, not because of Preston, in spite of him. Sienna's eyes filled with tears. Do you hate me? Tori considered the question, really thought about it. I did at first, but now I just feel tired and free. Free? Free from pretending, Tori explained. Free from ignoring my instincts. Free from trying to make a broken marriage work. Preston leaving was the worst thing that happened to me, and the best thing, because it forced me to stop lying to myself. Diana reached over, squeezed Tori's hand. Look at you, all wise and evolved. Tori laughed. I don't feel wise. I feel scared and overwhelmed and completely unprepared to be a single mother. Join the club, Sienna said. She stood. I should go. Thank you for hearing me out. And please thank your sister. I'm going to take the bum. If the offer's still open. It will be, Tori assured her, and after Sienna left, Diana turned to Tori. That was big of you, talking to her. She's just another person Preston hurt, Tori said. Hating her doesn't help me, and it doesn't protect my baby. The only thing that helps is moving forward. When did you get so mature? Diana asked. About 3 weeks ago, Tori replied. When I watched his whole life fall apart and realized I felt nothing. That's when I knew I was free. They finished painting the nursery. Sage green walls, white trim. Perfect. Tori hung curtains, assembled the crib, the nice one she had wanted. $800, worth every penny. That night, Vanessa came over, brought takeout, Thai food that Tori could not eat because the smell made her nauseous. So they ordered pizza instead, sat on the floor of the living room, ate from paper plates. Sienna took the job, Vanessa said. Started today. She's good, smart. She'll do well. You didn't have to do that, Tori said. Yes, I did, Vanessa replied. She's 26, pregnant, blacklisted from her modeling career. Preston destroyed her life just like he tried to destroy yours. She deserves a second chance. When did you become so forgiving? Tori asked. When I watched my sister survive what should have broken her, Vanessa said. You could have crumbled, could have hidden, could have let Preston and his lawyers and his manipulation destroy you. But you didn't. You fought. You stood up. You took your power back. And if you can do that, I can help the girl who got caught in Preston's crossfire. Tori leaned against her sister, twin to twin, heart to heart. Thank you for everything, for protecting me, for fighting for me, for being my sister. Always, Vanessa promised. They finished the pizza, watched a movie, pretended life was normal. Pretended the past 3 weeks had not happened. Just two sisters, pregnant with their futures, uncertain but hopeful. Around midnight, Vanessa went home. Tori walked through her beautiful house, the one she had picked, the one she had made home. She stopped in the nursery, stood in the doorway. Sage green walls glowed in the moonlight. White crib waited, rocking chair by the window. Ready. Perfect. Tori placed her hands on her belly. The baby had been quiet tonight, resting, growing, preparing for entrance into a complicated world. We're going to be okay, she whispered. More than okay. We're going to be happy, I promise. The baby kicked, gentle, accepting, believing. Tori sat in the rocking chair, let herself rock, back and forth, back and forth. The motion soothed her, calmed her racing thoughts. She pulled out her phone. 3 unread messages from Preston. She had not blocked him anymore. Needed to be able to communicate about custody, about the baby, about the... But she did not have to read the messages tonight. She opened them anyway. I'm sorry. I miss you. Can we talk? Delete, delete, delete. She powered off the phone, set it aside, kept rocking. Outside, the neighborhood was quiet, peaceful. Tori looked out the window, at the street she knew, the houses she had walked past 1,000 times, the life she was reclaiming one day at a time. And maybe that was the real victory. Not the board meeting, not the divorce settlement, not even Vanessa's revenge. But this quiet moment, alone in her home, in her baby's nursery, feeling peace instead of panic, feeling hope instead of despair. The prison door had been unlocked all along, she said aloud, testing the words. I just needed the pain to finally walk through it. The baby kicked again, stronger now, as if agreeing. Tori rocked and planned and dreamed of the future. 2 months later, Tori sat in her lawyer's office, 8 months pregnant now, enormous, uncomfortable, ready for this baby to arrive. Bradley pushed papers across his desk. The final divorce settlement. After weeks of negotiation, weeks of fighting, weeks of Preston trying to minimize his responsibility, they had reached an agreement. 50-50 custody when the baby is old enough, Bradley explained. Until then, primary residence with you. Preston gets supervised visitation, child support, alimony for 5 years, full college fund for the baby, and you keep the house? Tori read through the agreement. It was fair, more than fair. Preston had fought at first, tried to claim he could not afford these terms, but Vanessa's board action had made his financial position very clear. He could afford it. He just did not want to. In the end, he had no choice. Sign here, Bradley said, and here, and here. Tori signed, her new name, Victoria Ashford. She had taken back her maiden name, dropped Bennett like the heavy burden it had become. It's done, Bradley said. He smiled, genuine, warm. You're free. Tori felt tears coming, but happy tears this time, relief tears. The nightmare was over. The legal battle was finished. She could move forward. She left the office, drove home slowly. The baby was pressing on her bladder, making her uncomfortable. She could not wait to meet this child, to hold them, to start their life together. At home, her mother was waiting. Margaret Ashford, retired judge, strong woman who had raised twin daughters alone after their father died young. She understood single motherhood. She understood resilience. How did it go? Margaret asked. It's done, Tori said. I'm divorced, officially. Finally. Margaret pulled her into a hug, careful of the belly. I'm proud of you, so very proud. They had dinner together. Margaret had cooked, Tori's favorite, lasagna, garlic bread, salad. They ate and talked about everything except Preston. Talked about the baby, about names, about the future. Have you thought about what comes next? Margaret asked. After the baby? Tori had thought about it a lot. I want to go back to work, architecture, design. I miss it. I miss creating things. You could join Vanessa's company, Margaret suggested. Design their offices, their properties. Maybe, Tori said. Or maybe start my own firm. Small, just me. Projects I love, on my own schedule, so I can be with the baby. That sounds perfect, Margaret said. After dinner, Margaret left. Tori cleaned up, moved slowly, carefully. Her body ached, her feet swelled, but she felt content, at peace. The doorbell rang. Tori opened it without checking the peephole, assumed it was Vanessa or Diana or her mother returning for something she forgot. It was Preston. He looked terrible, thinner, older, broken in a way that should have made Tori feel victorious. But she just felt sad for the time wasted, for the love lost, for the life that could have been. What do you want? She asked. To apologize, Preston said. Really apologize. Not the PR apology, not the lawyer-approved apology, a real one. Tori considered slamming the door, but curiosity kept her there. Okay, apologize. Preston took a breath. I'm sorry for the affair, for the lies, for using company money, for getting Sienna pregnant, for hurting you, for hurting our baby before they're even born, for wasting 8 years of your life, for taking your 20s and giving you nothing but pain in return. Tori waited. Is that it? I'm sorry for making you doubt yourself, Preston continued. His voice cracked. For gaslighting you when you suspected the truth, for making you feel crazy when you were right all along, for isolating you from your work, for slowly erasing the woman I fell in love with until you were just an extension of me. I'm sorry for all of it. Tori studied him, looking for the lie, the manipulation, the angle, but she saw only genuine remorse. Too late, years too late, but genuine. Thank you, she said, for saying that, but it doesn't change anything. I know, Preston said. I just needed you to hear it. You deserve better. You deserved everything. And I gave you nothing but betrayal. You gave me this baby, Tori corrected. That's not nothing. Preston smiled. Bushkin, can I ask you something? What? Do you hate me? Tori thought about it, really thought. No, I don't hate you. I don't feel anything for you anymore. And that's worse than hate, because hate means you still matter. And you don't, not to me, not anymore. Preston nodded, accepted it. I understand. Goodbye, Tori. Goodbye, Preston. She closed the door, locked it, leaned against it for a moment. Processing. That was closure, real closure. Not the legal kind, not the financial kind, but the emotional kind, the kind she needed to truly move forward. Her phone buzzed. Vanessa. Dinner tomorrow? I want to show you the space I'm renovating. Thinking you could design it. Tori smiled, texted back. Yes, love to. She walked to the nursery, her sanctuary, her favorite room, sat in the rocking chair. The baby was active tonight, kicking, moving, getting ready. Tomorrow I start my life, Tori said to her belly. Our life. Just you and me and Aunt Vanessa and Grandma Margaret and all the people who love us. We don't need him. We never did. I just had to figure that out. The baby kicked, strong, certain, ready. Tori rocked and planned and imagined their future. A week later at 3 in the morning, her water broke. Tori called Vanessa, then Diana, then her mother. They all met her at the hospital. Labor was long, painful, exhausting. But Vanessa held one hand, her mother held the other. Diana coached her breathing. She was not alone, had never been alone. Even when Preston made her feel isolated, she had always had her people. At 7:23 in the morning, Victoria Ashford's daughter was born. 6 pounds, 8 ounces. Perfect, healthy, beautiful. Tori held her. This tiny human, this miracle, this reason for everything. Hello, sweetheart, she whispered. I'm your mama, and I promise I'll give you everything you deserve. Love, stability, truth. A mother who fought to be free so she could raise you in peace. The baby's eyes opened, looked at Tori, seeing her mother for the first time. Welcome to the world, Tori said. Welcome to our new beginning. Vanessa leaned over, looked at her niece. She's perfect. She is, Tori agreed. Margaret touched the baby's tiny hand. What's her name? Tori had thought about this for months. She wanted a name that meant something, that represented something, that honored the journey. Hope, Tori said. Her name is Hope, because that was what this baby represented. Hope for the future, for healing, for happiness, for everything Tori had thought she lost, but had actually been inside her all along. Hope Ashford, Vanessa said. I love it. Diana took photos, so many photos. Tori holding Hope, Vanessa holding Hope, Margaret holding Hope. 3 generations of strong women, 3 generations of survivors. Preston came to visit later that day, brought flowers, balloons, looked at his daughter through the nursery window. She's beautiful, he said. She is, Tori agreed. Can I hold her? Tori hesitated, then nodded. Yes, you're her father. even if you are not my husband anymore. Preston held Hope carefully, awkwardly, like he had never held a baby before. Maybe he had not. Maybe this was new for him too. I'll do better by her, he said. I promise. I'll be the father she deserves, even if I couldn't be the husband you deserved. I hope so, Tori said, for her sake. Preston handed Hope back, left quietly. Tori watched him go, felt nothing but neutrality. He was Hope's father. They would co-parent, but the door on their marriage was closed, locked, permanent. That night, Tori sat alone in her hospital room, Hope sleeping in the bassinet beside her. The city glowed outside the window. So much life, so much possibility. Tori thought about the past 9 months, the discovery, the betrayal, the battle, the victory. All of it had led to this moment, to this baby, to this new beginning. She pulled out her phone, opened a new note, started writing. Thoughts, feelings, wisdom gained from the hardest months of her life. I thought losing him would destroy me. Instead, it revealed who I really was underneath in all the years of being his wife. Turns out, I like her, the woman I am without him, the mother I'm becoming. She paused, looked at Hope, at this tiny human who would never know, the version of her mother who accepted less than she deserved, who doubted her instincts, who made herself small. And maybe that was the gift hidden in the betrayal. Not the revenge, not even the justice, but the discovery that the prison door had been unlocked all along. I just needed the pain to finally walk through it. Tori saved the note, put her phone away, lay back in the hospital bed. Tomorrow she would go home, to her house, to her nursery, to her life, with her daughter, her sister, her mother, her chosen family, her strength. Tomorrow she would wake up as someone new, someone free, someone whole. But today she let herself rest. Outside the sun began to rise, dawn breaking over the city, light spilling across the hospital room, across Hope's sleeping face, across Tori's future. A new day, a new life, a new beginning, and Tori was ready. Victoria's story didn't end with revenge. It ended with something better: freedom. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever felt gaslighted or doubted your own instincts, if you've ever watched someone choose themselves over you and wondered how to survive it, you're not alone. Drop a comment below telling me what moment hit you hardest. Was it the phone call, the baby shower betrayal, or Victoria realizing the prison door was unlocked all along? And if you believe women supporting women is the most powerful force on earth, hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories about real women finding their strength in impossible situations.